I don't know. Alright, so this customer had an engine swap and a transmission swap right now. So right now I'm in the process of changing out the transmission mount. This is what the transmission mount look like. And take out that one. Show them what, you know. Oh, okay. This one sits on the top. Oh, you threw out the middle. The rubber in the middle. Okay, well, that doesn't matter because you don't need it anyway. Alright, so basically, it's supposed to look like this. And that's what it looked like. So basically, this one was bolted here to the side like this. And there was no bolt holding it in the middle to hold up the tranny. But this was the car that I had in the other video that needed engine mounts and stuff. We did the engine mounts. All the engine mounts is good. So now I'm doing the transmission mount right now. In the process of doing that because we replaced the pressure switches already. Which one is right here. Well, one of the pressure switches is right here. And we just cleaned out the shift solenoid. So we took it out, cleaned out all the valves inside. And put everything back, tightened everything down. All that is good. Just had to take out the airbox. If anything, we might just go inside in here again and clean out the throttle again. He hasn't did the intake manifold, so we're gonna definitely get to that one of these days or whatever. But for now, we're just gonna focus on this engine mount. So that's what we're gonna be putting in right now. So basically this one is gonna sit, it's gonna sit here. There's 3 bolts, 1, 2, 3. And those 3 bolts sit in the frame right here, 1, 2, and 3. So what I'm gonna do is start putting this in. Just line this up like this. And then the bolt runs through it. Then the cover sits. Cover sits on top. Yeah, cover will sit here, and then you run the bolt through, and the bolts are tightened into the frame down there, and that's it. And it'll hold the tranny in place. So right now, that's it. I just cleaned it up. It's a little dirty. Had to take out. This was the old one, like I said. Had to take out the battery tray. Some other stuff, but coming along. Slowly but surely, we're coming along. Yep. Okay. We're gonna get this TL right. It's gonna be one of the best driving TLs on the road. Amen. You know, I'm gonna make a video coming for changing out the radiator. What else? What else we gotta do? The radiator cap hose, cause well, you guys know how to do this because it's pretty simple. But I'll make a video for changing out the radiator. And what else do we have to do? Oh yeah, and the spark plugs. But I already made a video for that. But I'll just make like a recap video. You gonna replace the tensioner? The low one. Oh, you're gonna replace the whole tensioner? Yeah. All right, yeah. So I'll make a video replacing the tensioner also. We were in the process of changing the brakes, but because he said he was having a sound when he would stop. He has like A-spec rims. He was having a sound, but when he stops. So basically, he thought it was, you know, the pads or whatever. So we were gonna change the pads or whatever. But it's not that. His rotors have grooves in it. If you run your hand across the front and back of the rotor, you can feel the grooves in the rotor. When you have grooves in it like that, when you stop, it'll cause the car to shake. When you on the steering wheel when you hit the brakes. So just keep in mind that, you know, if your car is shaking when you brake, that means you need new rotors. So all you gotta do is rub your hand against it, your rotors, and you'll feel that it's really flat and there's no grooves in it. Don't just check the front to see if there's grooves in it. Check the front and back to check, and run your hand across it. If you feel like little waves in it, that means your rotors are warped and you gotta replace it. That goes for all 4. This one, the one in the back, and on the side, all of them. main things right now is that, like I said, he had taken it to another mechanic. The mechanic didn't really know too much about the car. He did a lot of work on it. He did the swap of the engine and the transmission, and he started having, you know, issues here and there. When he put the engine in, he put the engine in, but he didn't, you know, center the mounts and everything. He just threw the engine in and just slapped it on top of the mounts and the bracket and just didn't care. He just didn't care what he was doing. So, you know, at the time when we were doing it, his car, what we had to do was, where this bracket was sitting was, it was leaning on the actual frame of the vehicle. So when we were doing it, it was leaning on the side of the frame. So while I was lining up the mounts to get the mounts in, we had a pole here on the side of the transmission to push the engine over, to keep the engine lined up, to line it up so we can bolt everything down. Because this was actually leaning on the car's body. I don't know if you can actually see it has an indent here for while it was leaning. But everything was just twisted. Everything was like out of place. But slowly but surely, you know, like I said, place the mounts, front, back, and the side. Everything is good now. I had an idler the other day on his car. He has good luck, but not the best luck. But not the best luck. But we replaced this idler the other day, but we got an aftermarket one, and it's not too big. It wasn't big, as wide as it should be. It was an aftermarket one, so it's not as wide, but it's doing the job. We're gonna replace it with an OEM one when we get a chance. For now, it's holding the belt. It is made kind of small because it's supposed to be like this thick, but it's like this thick instead. So the belt's not sitting on it. It's sitting on it fully, but it's sitting on the edge. But that's one of the complaints about that idler pulley. But we're gonna replace the whole tensioner and be good to go. Side mount's been replaced. He did have an issue with the ground here where it did rip, so he got an aftermarket ground. Didn't make a video for changing the idler, but you know, I'll get to that when I get a day. And the PCV valve, when we get a chance. Why is this out? The ignition. Yeah. No, I'll tighten that back down. But yeah, other than that, the car's running great. Because what had happened was the idler, the inside of it, basically the bearing seized, and the belt ran around it and ripped to shreds and just like ripped to pieces. I wish I would have showed you guys the belt. I wish you still have the belt.
You want to bring it?
Oh. Okay. So right now we're in. Oh, he does. He has everything. Okay, that's awesome. So I could show them doing everything, and came to his house to do it in his garage. This is what the belt looked like, and this was. The bearing wore out inside and just basically snapped off, and then it shredded the belt. So check those idlers and those tensioners, make sure that they're good, because this can happen to you and the car will break down. It will stop. But it was a simple fix. It just replaced the idler and it was good to go. But like I explained to him, just replace the whole tensioner, just to, you know, replace the whole tensioner just to secure it, because if this one wore out, then I'm pretty sure the tensioner actual bearing on that is going to wear out eventually soon. So you might as well just replace both and just get it over and done with. But let me know what you guys think, you know, about the repairs. His car's coming along slowly but surely. Gonna do what we gotta do and get it right. We're gonna keep you guys updated on his car and how everything is going. Alright, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And comment. Thanks. So I got the new transmission mount in right now. Just wanted to show you guys just an update. So I put the battery back in. Yeah, put the battery back in the air box. And then that's it. Good to go. So he changed out all his mounts. 1, 2, 3. The 3 engine mounts. The upper transmission mount, and then there's 2 lower ones on the bottom, but the 2 lower ones on the bottom is good. But we're gonna do another video. I'm gonna do another video on the mid mount, because his mid mount in the middle right here is cracked. that mid mount is cracked, so I'm gonna do a video on replacing that. If you guys want it, if you guys want a video on replacing the mid mounts, there's one on this side and there's one on the passenger side and the driver's side also. So if you guys want a video on that, just let me know. Just comment in the description or whatever. Let me know. All right. Okay. Everything is put back in. Everything is down. Wiped off under the engine bay. Engine mount is in. Everything is back in. I'm good to go.